You are Locked On Celtics Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Celtics with a great third quarter and continue their great run on this current homestand. And with the victory against the Lakers on Saturday night at TD Garden, the Lakers' 8-game win streak is now over. With that, we welcome you into our latest Locked On Celtics postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime college basketball play-by-play announcer, former show host, ESPN Radio, satellite radio, believed to this day, Kevin McHale, and his cameo on the sitcom Cheers. You know it, and you know it well. Absolutely 100% better than that from former Red Sox third baseman Wade Boggs. You're right where you need to be on this Saturday. You are locked on with the latest Locked On Celtics postcast, providing reaction to every Celtics game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as a Locked On Celtics podcast feed, which you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. On our latest Locked On Celtics postcast, we're talking about, well, the return of Jrue Holiday, but KP's still out of the lineup. Sam Hauser also back. Not a lot of production from the Celtics bench, but Tatum was terrific. Brown was terrific. Brown and Horford outstanding on the defensive end and making Luka Doncic work for just about everything. We do want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation watching live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Hit the comment button and join the Celtics conversation. Give us your one random thought on the Celtics victory at home against the LA Lakers, the win snapping the Lakers' 8-game win streak. We are presented by FanDuel right now. New FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, a new feature here on our Locked On Celtics postcast as we continue with the production elements. Yes, we are host. Yes, we are the producer as well. And yeah, maybe we should be paid for both roles. Who knows? I don't know at this point in time. What we're talking about right now, the Celtics' outstanding victory against the Lakers and a terrific third quarter. Celtics down in the first quarter by 8. Came back, tied the game up 33 apiece after the first quarter. Celtics up 4 at the half, and then did a terrific job in the third quarter. Led by 20 going to the fourth quarter. Celtics dominated defensively, outscoring the Lakers 29-13 in that third quarter. As I mentioned in the open, Al Horford played a terrific game. Close to a double-double. Tatum, Brown got the points against the Lakers. Celtics knocking down just 13 threes. You saw them time and time again attack Luka Doncic. But in that third quarter, Celtics got off to a great start. Scored the first 4. Brown a steal. Turnover on a break. Could have been 6-0 to start. Horford had a bucket. White had a layup. It was consistent, and the ball was being spread around as the points were coming from everybody. Celtics opened up on a 13-2 start to go up 15, 71-56. Lakers opened up that third quarter 0 for 10 overall and 0 of 6 on the three-point line. Brown knocked down a 3. Holiday back in the lineup, as I touched on, after missing the previous 4 games to open up the homestand. And I think, 5 out of 6 he missed. And then Celtics up 21. J.J. Redick got a technical foul. Jayson Tatum hit on the free throw. Celtics up 80-58. Doncic knocked it down a 3. Redick's tee got them going to a certain point. After a timeout in the third quarter, Tatum with a miss. Lakers had 3 attempts on their next possession, came up empty. Breen called it a nightmare third quarter for the Lakers, and it really was. They didn't shoot at a high percentage. Al Horford had 7 points in the third quarter. Tatum had a terrific third quarter as well. Tatum had 13 in the first quarter, 9 in the second, 10 in the third. And the Celtics held the Lakers to 13 points in that third quarter. Now, LA got into it and got back into it and made it a one-possession game in the fourth quarter. But the Celtics, hey, there was cameras. I mentioned Breen, Mike Breen, Richard Jefferson, Doris Burke, ABC, Saturday Night Hoops on ABC for ESPN and ABC. Connect knocked down a 3 to make it a 6-point game with under 6 to go. Tatum missed on a shot. Doncic a couple of free throws with just over 5 minutes remaining. That made it a 4-point game. But Derek White was fouled on a 3. Celtics up by 7. Doncic banked home a 3 to give him 30 for the game. Now, he got his points. You say, well, Horford played the defense on it. They made him work. And he had the back issue. They said, Doris Burke, and you remember the Nuggets last weekend. Doris Burke and Richard Jefferson were saying Nikola Jokic wasn't looking like he was at his best early on in the game. They understood it. They pointed it out multiple times, but Doncic continued in the game. Brown, a 3 in front of Doncic. And anytime Doncic was on the floor in the defensive end, they were going at him. Didn't matter who had the ball. If Doncic was the defender, they were going to go at him. So the lead from 7 to 4, back to 7. Doncic missed on a 3. Offensive rebound. Connect then missed a wide open 3. Out of a timeout. Brown missed on a 3 in the fourth quarter. White saved the ball on the baseline. Tatum knocked down a 3 to push the lead back up to 10. And guess what? A new production element.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, I really do think that was the turning point for the Celtics because it basically put the final nail in the coffin. The turning point was the third quarter, but after the miss on the 3, White saved it from going out of bounds. Tatum was found on the wing, knocked down a 3 to make it a 10-point game. Holiday then had an offensive rebound. That led to Brown hitting on a shot to put it at 10 again, and the Celtics victorious 111-101 against the LA Lakers. The Lakers had 67 through 3 quarters. The Celtics were up 20 after 3 quarters, and I'm thinking, Lakers going to score and hit the century mark? And they did. They did. They had a very good fourth quarter. They never took the lead in that fourth quarter. But the Celtics get the job done. They extend their win streak to 4 in a row, and they end the Lakers' 4-game win streak. Anytime you can end a Lakers win streak, more power to you, right? Beat LA. Beat LA. That's the mantra. Boy, I was thinking about that chant from the 80s in the old Garden during the day. 4 straight wins for the Celtics. Again, great third quarter for the Celtics as well. Now, LeBron James not on the floor late in the game. The cameras were on James. They split the camera. James and Doncic both were being tended to. Both were grimacing. James, groin injury. To your comments, if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, hit the comment button and join the conversation. We've got our regulars in there. Let's see if we get a couple of first-timers as well. The real Darrell checking in, first in. Celtics beat the Lakers once again. This time, they did it only getting a total of 9 points from the bench. Yeah. Cornette and Pritchard, your only points off the bench in this game. And it's a night where, hey, I think it was Tatum who didn't get a rest, his first rest, until well into the second quarter. And from the very open, as they went to ABC, they went to the play-by-play crew of Mike Breen, Richard Jefferson, and Doris Burke. The crowd was into it. So a tip of the crowd to the TD Garden crowd on Saturday. The real Darrell again. The Lakers have too many players that they have to try and hide on defense. Yeah, and they talked about the lack of height as well. Jackson Hayes was not in there. And that's going to be a problem for them. You extend them deep into a series, I think it will benefit and be more advantageous to the other team. And if you're going to face the Lakers in the second or third round, you hope the opponent before your series in the playoffs goes as far as it can. Extend the series. I think if you extend the series, you make the Lakers play, 7 in the opening round. I don't know that they get past the second round. I think the issues, and we'll see with the groin injury with LeBron James with just over a month to go in the regular season. Rain, I'm getting worried about KP. The illness has been far too long. Yeah, Porzingis out of the starting lineup again. And, there's just nothing that's 100% on the KP illness. It's an illness. That's what it's listed as on the injury report. And I believe I saw on Friday that Porzingis, I don't have Instagram, but I believe I saw it on Instagram where it was basically he said he was going to be playing Saturday. Was not in the lineup. Last game that he played, February 26th against Detroit. He's now missed 6 of the last 7 games for the Celtics as well. So, yeah, I thought about it earlier in the day, Rain. The best, not that there's a great thing with the illness. I think Brown was listed at one point with an illness, but it hasn't hit, and it hasn't hit for a long, lengthy period of time like it has for Porzingis. So it has not hit other members of the Celtics basketball team. Fat Man checking in. Would save the win for the C's almost blowing it. Yeah, they almost did. Hey, I don't know that you thought up 20 going to the fourth quarter. I didn't. They got it to a two-possession game. Did I think it would get down that far? Did I think it was going to get to single digits? No, but I thought the Lakers would make a game of it, and they did in the fourth quarter. Team that's won 8 in a row, but all of a sudden, Doncic again with the back. I don't care about Luka Doncic and injuries. He plays hard. He's a physical player. But again, I think there's a percentage with Luka Doncic, with the injuries that he's had over the course of his career so far, he's not, and I do think the Mavericks, I'm not going talk radio here on Luka Doncic and being traded from Dallas to LA. He's not going to age well physically. And there's talk of, well, now he's with LeBron James, who is one of the all-time best at taking care of himself physically. You can say anything negative you want about LeBron James. I'm probably going to disagree with about 85 to 95% of it. But the guy takes care of himself. He's fanatical over it, right? And that's why he's able to play at the level that he plays at, game in, game out. You want to make a comparison to Michael Jordan? That's it. Because Jordan did it. Jordan understood early in his career, I've got to get bigger. I've got to get stronger, hit the weight room during the off seasons because of the Detroit Pistons. LeBron has done that over the course of his career. It's commendable. Luka Doncic, I don't care about the injuries because if it's recovery, it's all the different things with Luka Doncic. He does not do those things at a high level. That's known, okay? That's part of it. Did the Dallas Mavericks perhaps outsmart themselves? I don't know. But he was due for a big, big payday once again. And they weren't going to pay it. And again, if you're wondering where I'm coming from, I'll just give you this on the resume one time. I, from a distance, from Bristol, Connecticut, covered the Dallas Mavericks on their flagship station in Dallas for an entire season. I heard a lot of the Luka Doncic stories when the media was not even in the locker room. Did not have the access along the way as well. Keep the comments coming. We'll continue with them. We'll go through the box score as well. Numbers of the night coming up in segment number 3. But the Celtics terrific with the win. They've now won 4 in a row. 28 games over 500 for the first time this season. 4-1 on the current homestand that I remind you was wondering if it was going to be a 4-3 because they lost the first one to the Cavaliers. 2 more on the homestand. Utah, who will play on a back-to-back, Philadelphia and Boston Sunday and Monday, and then you've got OKC on Wednesday. Now we look to that one. Don't look past Utah. The real Darrell, you did that to me last week or earlier in the week. Looking past the Sixers the other day. How about that victory? Sorry I wasn't with you for the victory against the Sixers a couple of nights ago. But this was a terrific win against a team that came in red hot. This wasn't against a bad team. This is against the second-best team in the West. Are the Lakers the second-best team in the West? I don't think they'll end up being there. I think they'll end up being third. I think Denver will end up being the number 2 team in the Western Conference. Keep the comments coming. Again, numbers tonight coming up in segment number 3. Glad you're with us. Latest edition of the Locked On Celtics postcast, talking about the Celtics' 10-point win against the LA Lakers. Beat LA, beat LA. Nothing sounds better from the old Garden or the present-day TD Garden. Glad you're with us. Locked On Celtics postcast, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel as well. The podcast available wherever you get your podcast, and we are presented by Prize Picks. Basketball season is heating up. No better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the best place for daily fantasy sports. With Prize Picks, you just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. It is easy to use, available in over 30 states, and lets you mix and match projections across different sports as well. Building your lineup this week? Well, you might be thinking about Luka Doncic going for more than 25 points. If you did that against the Celtics Saturday, you won. You might have also been thinking about Jayson Tatum going for more than 8 rebounds. If you did that on Saturday, you also won, as Tatum picked up a double-double. Prize Picks makes it simple. You can set your lineup in less than 60 seconds and stay engaged all game long. When you win, your money hits your account in as little as 15 minutes. No waiting around with Prize Picks. Taco Tuesday deals every Tuesday. Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25%, giving even more value to your lineup. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, you know it. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, let's get back into the comments. Great third quarter for the Celtics. Not only a great third quarter offensively, but defensively, they were terrific. Again, Celtics holding the Lakers 0 for 10 to open up the quarter from the field overall. Pascal checking in. Also, okay, Pascal, I think you might have had one in there beforehand, maybe? Nope, I believe that might be your first. Pascal. See what this is. Also, okay, here we go. Also, am I the only one, this from Pascal, also, am I the only one who thought Bron looked old, even with that great first half? Yeah, this was game one of a 4-game road trip for the Lakers. Pascal, to your point, I felt like as the game was progressing, especially in that third quarter, kind of felt like the Lakers were on the final game of a 4 or 5 game road trip. Now, Richard Jefferson made the point in the second half. Well, you know, they had to travel a long way across the country. Give me a break. I know I used to travel on planes for work, and I used to sit in the back of the plane by design. Just something I did. I didn't mind it. I didn't take my seatbelt off immediately and try to rush to the front of the plane. Yes, they made the trip across country, but they didn't travel like I travel. And I'll bet the farm they didn't travel like a lot of people travel. Luxury accommodations. To the plane, get on the plane, fly across country. Have whatever you want on the plane. You want a steak? You probably have a steak. You want to stay hydrated with whatever you stay hydrated with? You've got all of that available to you. The real Darrell, defense won this game tonight. I feel like this is, we know what they're capable of doing. During that stretch in December into January, it was sort of like everyone's banging on their head. Where's the consistent defensive effort? I think you're starting to see the Celtics ramp up the defense. I'm curious to see how they play defensively against OKC on Thursday. Every Nyan, if I have that wrong, I do apologize. Big Al was not having the disrespect. How about Doris Burke? They always allude to Big Al's age. Come on, the man's a seasoned vet. Don't care his age. And over the last handful of games, Porzingis has been out. What did he play, 30, 37, almost 40 minutes tonight? He's been terrific of late. He really has. Michael, I'm sick of the Celtics letdown. Should not have got this close to losing. Michael, a win is a win at this point in the season, bud. It really is. They didn't lose the lead. When you see a team come back the way the Lakers did, they got it to a one-possession game, but they never took the lead in that fourth quarter. That's what I look at. Even tying the game. You take the lead, even on the road, it's you and the bench, and it's your team. And the Lakers travel well. We know that. They had some fans. They had some cheering moments. But you just take the victory and go. Every night on one more time. We were never in danger of losing, LOL. They just make it close. Yeah, they did. They're an NBA team, too. They have LeBron James. And he didn't play down the stretch. But they've got pieces. I mean, they'd entered on an 8-game win streak. It's the NBA. They got off to a good start, led by 8 in the first quarter. The third quarter was really a carryover of how the Celtics played in the second quarter because they really started getting after it defensively. Pascal, C's can beat OKC because they don't have any real creators outside of SGA and Williams. They've got an awfully good team. They really do. And, remember back to the first matchup. I'll have more on that, what's next after the Utah game. But, I'm curious to see. Go after him. Go get him defensively. Split the season series. Lose on the road, win at home against the best team in the West. I think that's, you get that. And you're looking at a great homestand right now. You have to beat Utah. You have to beat Utah. There's just Monday night needs to be a victory. Just has to be a win. There was one more I wanted to get in here. Okay. PK Tattoos got in here early on. I'm going to go back to PK for a moment. Tatum, Brown, great. Horford, again, defense, elite and crucial. Yeah, we've touched on that, but wanted to get PK Tattoos to get him in there as well. Joseph, when they want to play hard, they play hard. I don't think, hey, we can watch teams around the NBA, when they take a night off. The loss against Toronto, it was like they took a night off or just felt like they could cruise. I think you can count on just a couple of fingers where you could absolutely say the Celtics took the night off. There haven't been too many. And I can add on there, that's a championship caliber team. And that's a team that's got its sights. I think you're starting to see on this homestand, the defense especially, I think you're starting to see this team understand that they're closing in on the end of the regular season, and it's just about 100% pedal to the metal, go time. You have this upcoming road trip, but this homestand, hey, it started with a loss, and all of a sudden you're looking at OKC, you're looking at the Lakers. Now they're in the rearview mirror. Now all of a sudden you're saying, hey, 6-1. That's what's on the table right now. They're 4-1. They got 2 more. Again, you got to beat Utah. The real Darrell wanted to look past the Sixers the other night to the Lakers. The real Darrell, I think we have a good enough relationship now where, we're having fun at each other's expense. You can chime in and come back at me anytime you want. You've earned that. But really, I am. The real Darrell, I scolded you the other night, looking past the Sixers. And I'm not looking past Utah, but I'm just definitive, and that's got to be a victory. And then you go to OKC on Wednesday as well. Numbers of the night. Great comments tonight. Keep them coming. Love it. You're a big part of the show. You are the show. And it is greatly appreciated every step of the way. Numbers of the night. Look ahead. What's next? Coming next. Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Celtics Postcast, Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day. We are presented by FanDuel. Hey, when the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on that than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or you want to bet on a fourth-quarter comeback, Lakers tried, did not come through against the Celtics on Saturday night, you can stay in the action, and if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into same-game parlays. You are going to love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting. Whether you are backing your team for a late game rally or picking a player to hit a clutch 3, you are never going to feel like you missed a chance. Plus, the app is easy to use, and when you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Glad you're with us, as always. And we appreciate you making Locked On Celtics Postcast your first listen every day. Tip the cap to our everydayers and a welcome aboard to our first-timers as well. The podcast, is free and available wherever you get your podcast as well.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So during last baseball season, I had the at-bat of the night for every Red Sox postcast on the Locked On Sports Network. Again, the production, a little bit new. We're adding some new pieces to the puzzle here with our production. So now I do want, going forward, I'm going to be the first year, as we have, the brand new segment that is called.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's worth doing a second time. Going forward, if you're with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, your first comment can be, who is the player of the game? Now, not always going to give it to the guy with the most points, the most rebounds, or the best stat line. I really want to go to Al Horford tonight. 37-plus minutes, 5 of 9 from the field, knocked down a 3, 3 of 4 at the line, missed out on a double-double by 1 rebound, had 14 points total, and this is the clincher for me. Let's see one more thing for Al Horford. Had 3 steals, a block shot. I'm not a big plus-minus guy, but Al Horford was a plus 16. Tatum, who went for 40 and 12 rebounds and 8 assists, was a plus 12. Derek White, by the way, was a plus 17. But I'm going Al Horford. This is my first, and we're not going to tab it up or anything. I might just pick somebody in our comment section going forward. You can give us your player of the game. All right, that's a new segment that we've got here that we're putting together, and we will have it each game going forward. Numbers of the night. 17th time this season, the Celtics have been up by 20 or more going to the fourth quarter. The Celtics are now 41-7 on the season when they lead after 3 quarters. And this was from Dick Light on the X, formerly known as Twitter. Tatum, double figures in points in the first quarter in 7 of the last 11 games for the Celtics. Want to get to my 3-point notes here for just a second because this was a night where the Celtics made just 13 threes and actually took well below their season average. I think, 38 or 39 threes for the entire game. But it is just the 10th time this season over the first 64 games where the Celtics have seen their opponent knock down more threes than they made. On the night, the Celtics knocking down 13 of 38 from the three-point line, and the Lakers were 14 of 40. I thought the Celtics were going to have more assists. They had 24 total, but here's one more number of the night, 9. Celtics had 9 turnovers for the entire game. That was outstanding. Couple more comments here. Fat man, you might have the last word here. Nice to see Jrue out there. Look great, shooting the ball, going for 50%. There were a couple of times, Fat man, I appreciate bringing that up. There were a couple of times during the course of the game where I was really focused in on Jrue Holiday, and they may have even said that he was grimacing a little bit. Hey, that's an injury that's probably going to require surgery at some point in time. It's on his finger. I think they're calling it hammer finger. He can't fully extend. I believe it's the index finger. And with that, there's going to be probably a procedure down the road. This is a pain tolerance thing for Jrue Holiday going forward. But over the course of this season, watching Jrue Holiday and Derek White, huge fans of both. Really am. I mean, Tatum and Brown, they're the superstars on the team. But these role guys, Holiday and Derek White, Horford back for another stint, playing well, has gotten in the starting lineup, has come off the bench effectively. Jrue Holiday, he's had the shoulder issue as well. He's been banged up. This has been a season where he's been dealing with things. Hauser, too. Mentioned that the other night. But just an appreciation for these guys who are there. And, you knew I was sort of surprised that Holiday was ruled as a go and was going to be able to play Saturday night. I did think it was going to be a couple more games at least. But again, I think it's going to be a tolerance thing, what he can deal with on a pain level going forward. And that hand's going to be banged around just about every single game for the Celtics going forward. That's not something that's just going to get better with time. What's next? Hey, trying to make it 5 straight wins. Celtics have won 4 in a row, 10 of 12, and now 14-3 over their last 17 games as well. Terrific victory for the Celtics, who are 4-1 on this current homestand that continues on Monday. They'll have Sunday off. It's really a rare Sunday for the Celtics, right? They've had a couple of afternoon games in recent weeks and everything, but Utah, after the day off on Sunday, they'll have Utah coming into Boston on Monday for the first of what will be 2 regular season matchups. The Celtics will play Utah on that extended road trip that is pretty much right around the corner. That'll be 6 in a row on the road. But Utah right now, they've dropped 4 in a row. They're the worst team in the Western Conference. They're 15-48 on the season. They've lost 4 in a row, 6 of 7. And they'll be the first team in a while playing the Celtics on the back end of a back-to-back. They'll be in Philadelphia against the 76ers on Sunday. They'll be in Boston against the Celtics on Wednesday as well. And then the road trip, or the homestand, pardon me, wraps up with OKC on Wednesday. And then it's on the road for a couple of games where the Celtics will be on the road against Miami. I know that'll be the first game of the upcoming road trip for the Celtics. That's a brief, just 2-game road trip, and then it's back home before they do have that 6-game road trip later on in the month. Celtics victorious. As always, we want to acknowledge our sponsors, Prize Picks and FanDuel. Supporting our sponsors is supporting us with Locked On Sports. We are going to be on within minutes of the final buzzer Monday night as the Celtics are looking for a 5th straight victory, and they'll play host to the Utah Jazz, the first and only meeting between Utah and Boston in Boston for the regular season. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody. As always, we tip our cap to you as well. Good Saturday show talking about a Celtics 10-point victory at home against the LA Lakers. Celtics win streak now at 4. The Lakers 8-game win streak, that is now a thing of the past. As always, we remind you, Locked On Sports Boston, number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Celtics, every day.